Today we are interviewing Dr. Brenda Litchfield, a professor of instructional design and development at the University of South Alabama and resident expert in Dr. John Keller's ARCS model. Dr. Litchfield and Dr. Keller have a professional history together. Dr. Keller was on Dr. Litchfield's doctoral committee at Florida State University. Dr. Litchfield was instrumental in establishing the faculty development program at South and continues to conduct seminars and training sessions for both university and public school teachers. Some of Dr. Litchfield's many accolades include recipient of the 2006 College of Education's Award for Excellence in Teaching, as well as the 2006 University of South Alabama's Teaching Award. Additionally, in 2010, she received the College of Education's Award for Innovation in Teaching. Dr. Litchfield has been granted 3 Fulbright Scholar Awards: the University of Macau, SAR, China, 2012, Xi'an International University, Xi'an, China, 2013, and starting fall of 2017, Chiang Mai University in Thailand. Her areas of interest and research are teacher training, motivation, and environmental education. Dr. Litchfield, thank you for sharing your expertise in the areas of motivation and John Keller's ARCS model with us this afternoon.
Sure, thank you. Good introduction.
So generally, the term motivation is used to indicate why a person does something. How would you define motivation?
Well, motivation is really what we call an internal construct. That means it is something that you can't really see very well. And it's really tough to know how to actually motivate somebody to do something. And I would say that it causes an internal drive in a student to allow them to learn, to be proficient at different things, or it allows somebody to want to cut the grass. If you've got a teenager, they're motivated to cut the grass and maybe for some kind of reward. So it's really, we have to remember it's internal, and you can't actually motivate somebody, but we want to arrange the situation so that they are motivated.
You have explained that motivation is the most important component of design in any instruction or training. You believe that students' motivation is under the instructor's control. There are several motivation theories that instructors can follow. What are the motivation theories and or models that you use?
Well, there's two main theories that I like. One is David McClellan, and that's his needs theory. And there's probably a book this thick on it, but I'll just boil it down to, he says that people are motivated by achievement, being able to set their own goals and be in control, by affiliation, which means socially working with other people, and also by power. And power is not necessarily a bad thing. It is being able to be in positions of influence. So the needs theory is a pretty good one. Another one I really like is Victor Vroom, and great name. He's a Canadian psychologist, and he has one called the expectancy value theory, and that has 3 parts. It's how well a student expects to do. The second is how much they value the activity, and the third one is the instrumentality, how important that they see it is to obtaining a goal. And those three things go together to determine somebody's motivation level. So they expect to do well, what they do when they're in there, and then how important it is, and that can determine somebody's motivation level. Now, there are a couple models out there. Raymond Ludkowski has one he calls the time continuum model, which is good, and I know you better go back and look it up. And he talks about beginning, during, and ending a situation. And then, of course, my favorite one is the ARCS model, which I'm sure you have a question about it.
I do. My next question: how can instructors apply the principles of the ARCS model into e-learning?
Well, e-learning is a particularly challenging one because you're not there, and the students can feel all alone. Now, what you've got to think about is the A for attention, R for relevance, C for confidence, and S for satisfaction. And if you think about all of those things when you start planning your course, not when you get finished, but when you start planning it, you've got to have pictures. I have silly pictures of myself almost every week. You've got to have different kind of colors and things to get people's attention. And the relevance, you want to tell them how useful it is now and in the future, and also also give them activities that they like to do. Confidence, they should be able to feel success early on so that they feel confident, and to also get the criteria for what the assignments are. If you know what you're supposed to do and you know how to do it, you feel better, and then you feel more confident. And then for satisfaction, the best thing for satisfaction is to use the skill and use it soon in a real world context. So you've got to think your assignment structure has a lot to do with people's confidence and how they view the course as being worthwhile, that they've learned it.
Students taking online classes frequently complain about the extensive use of text-based materials in these courses. These students state that the classes are boring and that instructors often resort to providing multiple articles and/or PowerPoint presentations as a way of teaching. What can be added or changed to make these courses more enjoyable?
Well, this takes us right back to the ARCS model. You've got to consider the motivation of the students. And the professors that put up lots of text and boring PowerPoints, they either are lazy or they don't know anything about motivation. And the second part, not knowing about motivation, is something that they can learn how to do. And you know, it takes me probably 3 times, 2.5 or 3 times on a course before I get it really motivating. I mean, the first time you're just in there just trying to get all the pieces, and of course I have lots of pieces. The second time you can go back and put some graphics in it and get your lectures done really well, put some cartoons and things, fine tune your activities, and then the third time it's really good to go. And so the students that have boring classes, they need to make sure that they talk about these things at the end on the student evaluations. Students don't think people pay attention to that, but they do. They factor into the faculty's annual evaluation and annual review by the department chair. So speak up.
Good to know we have a voice. Well, thank you so much for your time, Dr. Litchfield.
Sure.
We really appreciate it.